My ex-husband planted vodka bottles in my trash to steal my daughter, but he had no idea his new girlfriend was secretly feeding me the evidence to destroy him. My ex-husband, David, completely destroyed my life. No warning, no conversation. One morning, he just filed for emergency custody and told the judge I was an unstable, raging alcoholic. For the record, I'd been completely sober for 8 years, but David was a charismatic, wealthy real estate developer. He knew everyone in town, and everyone loved him. In court, David played the heartbroken, concerned father perfectly. He actually manufactured fake evidence. He planted empty vodka bottles in my recycling bin, took close-up photos, and submitted them to the court. The judge bought it, hook, line, and sinker. I was immediately stripped of my custody rights and reduced to supervised visits for my own daughter, Mia. I lost everything in the blink of an eye. Things went downhill fast. David moved his new 25-year-old girlfriend, Brittany, into our beautiful house less than a month later. Then, the relentless social media campaign started. He weaponized his Facebook page like a professional PR team. He'd post these long, sickeningly sweet paragraphs about the, quote, trials of single fatherhood and how he had to protect his innocent little girl from a toxic environment. He never used my name. He didn't have to. The comments just kept rolling in. You are such a hero, David. Mia is so lucky to have you. Stay strong, brother. You got this. My own neighbors stopped waving to me. My friends slowly stopped texting back. I lost my job at the local design firm because David accidentally let it slip to my boss that I was supposedly drinking on the clock. He turned me into a complete ghost in my own hometown. But David got greedy. He wasn't satisfied with just taking my daughter. He wanted me completely erased from the map. He filed a motion to terminate my parental rights entirely. He claimed my supervised visits were, quote, damaging Mia's emotional well-being. It all hinged on one final court hearing. If he won, I would never see my little girl again. The night before the hearing, during my last supervised visit, I hugged Mia tight. I whispered in her ear, I am never giving up on you. Tomorrow, everything changes. I don't think she understood, but she squeezed my hand anyway. The next morning, the courtroom felt like a freezer. David sat at his table wearing this smug, arrogant smirk. He was wearing his $1,000 suit, practically taking a victory lap before the judge even hit the gavel. Then, my lawyer stood up and cleared his throat. Your Honor, we call Brittany Hayes to the stand. David's smile vanished instantly. His face turned completely gray. Brittany, his perfect, shiny new girlfriend, walked right past him without even making eye contact. My lawyer leaned heavily on the podium. Ms. Hayes, can you explain what David asked you to do last October? Brittany took a deep, shaky breath and dropped the absolute bomb. He made me buy the alcohol. He told me to pour it down the drain, put the bottles in her trash, and take the pictures. He said if I didn't help him frame her, he would ruin my credit and kick me out on the street. The courtroom completely erupted. David tried to stand up and shout, but the judge aggressively slammed his gavel, ordering him to sit down and shut up. Brittany wasn't finished. She pulled out a massive stack of printed text messages. He's also been hiding his assets, she said, her voice shaking but loud. He transferred over $400,000 into an offshore account just to make sure his ex-wife got absolutely nothing in the divorce. David's lawyer literally put his head in his hands. He knew it was over. The judge looked at David with pure, unfiltered disgust. The absolute best part? When the bailiff escorted David out of the courtroom, Brittany walked straight over to my side of the room. She looked at me, gave a tiny nod, and smiled. What David didn't know was that Brittany and I had been meeting at a rundown diner 2 towns over every single week for 3 months. We didn't just expose a liar. We absolutely crushed him.